to the Top, a look back at the 1990 season of the Ardmore Tigers. The state championship game will follow at 1:30 here on Channel 12. But right now, a look at how the Tigers got to the title game. Here is Channel 12's Ron Stone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Road to the Top. A look back at the 1990 season of the Ardmore Tigers, a season that began 14 weeks ago. And today, the Tigers play for the state title. The Road to the Top began August 31st when the Tigers traveled to Ada to face the Cougars in the season opener. This one was a battle between two teams that have a habit of making the playoffs. But for the third consecutive year, Ardmore clipped the Cougars 35-7 to start the season off on a strong note. Week number 2 saw the Tigers at Walker Stadium for the home opener for 1990, and the Durant Lions came to town. Ardmore too big a load for the Lions in this one, but the Tigers suffered a major blow. Fullback Patrick Musgrove was injured in the game, a knee injury that finished his high school career. 44-15 the final as Raphael Denson had yet another big night. Week number 3 saw one of the Tigers' biggest offensive showings. They ran up 55 points on McAllister's Buffaloes, and it could have been a lot worse. The Tigers were 3-0, headed west for their next game with the Bulldogs of Altus.
I think as the season progressed, we opened up with a very tough team in Ada, which has always presented us a lot of problems. And then I think the big milestone, though, was when we played back-to-back Altus and Lawton Mac. I think that was a key as far as the stepping stone of us being able to advance in the playoff.
I think Ada was one of the games that we felt like we had to come together and play as a squad because, you know, if we felt like if we was going to win some big ball games, it was going to have to be right the first game when we, you know, first time we suited out together and, you know, in our, you know, same matching uniform.
Remember, it was early in the season. We made a few mistakes that I don't think we're making now, that we've improved on the things that we did good, and that we learned that it's going to be a tough road from those early teams, that we knew it wouldn't be easy, and take it one step at a time. And that's what we've done to get to the state finals. And now we have one more game to prove that we are the best team in the state of Oklahoma.
Week number 4 found the Tigers headed to Altus, a showdown with another old foe. The Bulldogs have been somewhat of a thorn in the side of Ardmore in recent years, but this time they fell 27-6. And the Ardmore juggernaut headed on to Lawton. Week number 5, another quality opponent, this time MacArthur High School. The Highlanders and the Tigers always play a physical game, but Ardmore prevailed in this one 39-8. And the verbal abuse was hot from both sides in this game.
That's when we played against Lawton Mac, you know, and played against Altus. And right there is when I thought that we had to come together because those are two physical teams. Is when we played against both teams. And if we pulled together then and accomplished our goals and got over those two games, then I knew right there and then we was physical. And that was one of our main things, was to be mentally tough this year. So we became physical. After we played those two games, we had more confidence.
Great rivalry. I mean, it's just one of those games that, you know, one school doesn't like the other, so it's just a lot of talking back at each other.
What kind of game do you look for Saturday?
Very physical, very fast, very good game.
We feel like that the most important game is the game that we're getting ready to play that week, and we've got to be able to carry those things over and improve, just make sure that we get better week after week, regardless of the outcome of the game. And hopefully that's a base philosophy that you have in your own personal life. You know, we can't control what's behind us and we can't control what's in the future, but the one thing that we can control is right now. And the main thing that we can control is our attitude about it, whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing, and we can control that. And hopefully we do it in a positive way and help our kids grow to be better, not only as a football player, but as a young man.
With a win over Lawton Mac, the Ardmore Tigers had a winning streak of 5 games in a row. They also had the additional burden of being the #1 ranked team in the state of Oklahoma. Now, that alone would exert a lot of pressure on some teams, but Ardmore took it all in stride. Actually, they were daring someone to break their current winning streak.
You're very confident, but then you still have to have respect for all your opponents. Anybody can beat you at any time at this level of play, and You have to realize that and know that you just have to go out every week and do what needs to be done and take care of your own business. That's one of the goals that we set for the 1990 season, is to go undefeated and, of course, go and win the gold ball in state. So that's just one of the goals that we set for this season.
Probably the Altus game. I had a pretty big hit on a quarterback in Altus game. I think that's mainly what I'm going to remember, that and these big games like against Duncan and all that going on.
The wins over Altus and Lawton MacArthur were key wins for the Ardmore Tigers in 1990. They were 5-0, ranked number 1 in the state. The road to the top, 1/3 complete. A timeout here, and we will continue in just a moment. As the Tigers roared into October, they found themselves playing a couple of opponents that were grossly overmatched. Bishop McGuinness came to Walker Stadium and left after receiving a 63-13 shellacking. Noble next in town, and they too, no match for the Tiger machine. Noble, as they were, fell to the Tigers 41-0. Ardmore was riding a winning streak of 7 consecutive games and feeling like the big boys on the block in high school football. Got to come early if you want a good seat. Week number 8 rolled around. Ardmore Tigers ranked number 1 in the state of Oklahoma with a winning streak of 7 straight games. Headed for western Oklahoma, a showdown with Duncan. The Demons ranked number 2 in the state polls. This obviously was the game of the week in the state. There are bitter feelings between these two schools. Goes back a long ways. Ardmore Tigers have had trouble with Demons in the past and knew that they would need a little bit of magic if they were to win again in 1990. This year's game with Duncan, almost a carbon copy of the 1988 contest. Both teams made a lot of mistakes, trying to keep from losing more than trying to win the game. Came down to a last-second field goal, and it was Duncan the winner, 24-22 over the Tigers.
In a way, I kind of think we needed that, because at times when you keep winning like that, team gets on kind of a high horse, and it's good to get down to reality, and I think it helped us a lot to, because we know how it feels to lose, and we don't want it again.
It was a very disappointing loss, because we felt like that we were riding as the number 1 team in the state, so it was very disappointing. But as I look back, probably it was a blessing to us from the standpoint that it put us in number 2 and put everybody shooting at Duncan as number 1. And I've talked to several people, and they've told me, that they felt like that maybe Duncan hasn't played as well since they played us. Maybe it was such an emotional game and an emotional win, and put a lot of marbles in one game, that maybe it might have, this is talk.
I don't think there's any feeling about the streak. I mean, Duncan's a big opponent every year, no matter what either record is or what either team is ranked. So we just go out there and try to give it your all, and we just didn't come out on top that game.
The last 2 weeks of the regular season, almost a tune-up for the playoffs. The Tigers hosted Oklahoma City Douglas and thrashed the Trojans 35-12. Maybe a bit of the Duncan frustration taken out on the Trojans that night. In the regular season finale, Ardmore traveled to the capital city to take on Northeast. This, too, an unfair mismatch. Everyone got into the game for Ardmore as the Tigers won it 53-8 to close out the schedule at 9 wins and 1 loss. The Tigers had started the 1990 season with a lot of new faces. They'd gone to battle with each other enough times to become one united team with a goal of becoming state champions.
What I remember most of those games was the team unity that we had, and that's really not in the first couple of games, but the whole season, really. The team unity that we have is more or less unbelievable because of the coaches that we got. They kind of lead us in a way.
The younger guys, some of the younger guys stepped up and they came on strong. And the guys that were playing there, like in the line, it just moved some guys over and some guys in. and we, you know, start playing a role. It was just your role. If you came in for somebody and had to back them up, then that's what you had to do, and that's what type of stuff we did. Was, you know, come in for each other and help each other out and pump each other up when everybody got down on each other.
Yeah, we all stuck together great, like a team. We get out there in huddles, and you know, we all pat each other on the back and tell each other we did a good job and everything. And it's just like we're a big unit out there in defense, you know. And we know we have to have good defense to win and everything. So.
The regular season closed out with 9 wins and 1 loss for the Tigers. Then it was on to the playoffs. 3 teams they will have played twice this season. Altus, they played in a regular season, beat them in the playoffs. Oklahoma City Douglas, they won during the regular season, beat them during the playoffs. They have played Lawton MacArthur 1 time during the regular season, 39-8. That game was not even really close. And now it's down between those 2, MacArthur and the Ardmore Tigers, for the state crown. Those playoff games, more of a mental challenge than a physical one for the Ardmore Tigers. They played host to Altus. They bounced the Bulldogs again, 2nd time this season, 31-6 this time. That was win number 10 on the year. Next came Clinton. The Red Tornadoes found themselves in a real storm. They fell 39-13 to the Tigers and were never in the game after the first quarter. Playoff game number 3. That was a defensive gem. Ardmore gave up an early safety to Oklahoma City Douglas, but then came back to win it 12-2 the final, thus advancing to the semifinal round last week. At Owen Field at University of Oklahoma last week, the Tigers facing Tulsa McLean, another big city school that looked better in the newspaper than they did on the field. After some early butterflies, the Tigers got their feet on the ground, prevailing 36-13 to qualify for today's state championship game with Lawton Mac. A final scouting report on the Highlanders coming up right after this short timeout.
You can have anything that you desire. Magic.
As you can see, in 1953 and 1982, the Ardmore Tigers were state champions in the state of Oklahoma. And coming up in just about 30 minutes, they will go for their 3rd state championship, and it will be the 2nd time this year they will have played Lawton MacArthur High School.
I don't think there's too much difference in the way they played us the first time, because they still have the big back and they still have the quarterback. The big back will always Berg. He'll run up the middle just like he did against us the first time, and the quick quarterback, he'll run on the outside. So it's not really too much difference, I don't think.
Well, they're on the revenge factor, you know. They lost the last game, and we got them 1-0, and so we got to play them a 2nd time, and it's always hard to beat the 2nd team twice. And all the, I guess you can say, hype is on their side, but for us, we just have to come out and do our job and just reverse the high-level intensity back over to our side and just take control of the game early.
Well, I think the score is not indicative of the game. It was a very tough game, and this time around, they've improved a lot. We saw their game against Southsaw, and they were just running over them. I mean, they looked real tough, so they've improved a lot. And I think they're going to give us more formations this time for our defense to have to adjust to them. So it's going to be a lot tougher game. They're a lot better than the first time around.
Right after the Tigers had eliminated Tulsa McLean last week, Lawton Mac demolished Sallisaw to make the finals this weekend. The Tigers beat them handily back in September, but remember, it was MacArthur that upset Duncan in the 2nd round of the playoffs. MacArthur, a good fundamental team, and the Tigers know it.
They feel like they're better than us, I guess, at this point right now. But you really can't say who's the better team until the end of this game right here to come away with all the marbles. I feel like if they feel like they've gotten better, then, you know, we'll see Saturday afternoon.
Lawton Mac's got great athletes, and they do like to talk a lot. But as long as you just keep your head and don't let them get in your mind, then you can take care of your business.
It's probably going to be the running game. I think Chris Burke, he's gotten a lot better, and their quarterback, Anthony Loud's gotten a lot better. And I think our key is to stop Burke. And if we can do that, well, I think we have it pretty good. And everything else fall in after that.
They have gotten a whole lot better when we went up there, and after they played us, they looked a whole lot better. I mean, it's just Burke has come on very well, and the offensive line has come on very well, as the defense. But it's going to be a very good game.
This is the third year as head coach for Ardmore's Ronnie Tips. He took the job after 17 years as an assistant coach at McKinney High School in Texas. He had a feeling that good things would come his way if he came back home.
When we took the Ardmore job, and I say we, my family and I decided to come to Ardmore, we've had our ego trip. We've had an opportunity to go to Texas Stadium, play in the Astrodome. To be very honest with you, the why I came to Ardmore is that I've never been a head coach, and I was presented the opportunity to be one. And like people in their own lives, in a particular profession that they're in, if you're going to be there, you just like maybe to try it. And if it worked out, it'd been fine. If it didn't, well, then that's fine also. And the good Lord led us here, gave us an opportunity to be around the young people in our schools and in this community. And it's been nothing but a positive thing for us. And we truly believe that the Lord led us here at that time. And He gave us that opportunity. And the bottom line is that being in the coaching profession, I just didn't want to go through and say that I never had tried to be a head coach. It was a very difficult move for us because we were very happy in McKinney. We enjoyed the situation that we were in and the people that we were around in that community. But like I say, the Lord felt like led us up here, and we've been very blessed.
We're just about ready to go to Owen Field for today's championship game up in Norman. The Ardmore Tigers facing the Highlanders of Lawton MacArthur. Of course, you can see the game here live on Channel 12. Then, as always, we will review the highlights Sunday night, 10:30 on Ardmore Tigers football. Hope we'll have good news to report at that time. Till then, thanks for watching. I'm Ron Stone, 12 Sports.
Then I saw you, I couldn't